All right, we're going to watch some of Kathryn's butterfly, and we're going to watch it from a side view. And we're going to watch it just in slow motion first, just kind of get an idea of what it is we want to look at, see how it is that she looks. Kathryn's doing such a good job of practice these days. We love how hard she's working, and she's definitely been noticed by all the coaches with how much effort she's put into practice. Real quick, we can kind of see that we've got to work on not coming up quite so high on those breaths. You kind of see when you take a breath, your upper part of your suit actually even coming out of the water. We're really useful to your shoulders right at water depth, and you want to have those the chin right on the surface. And then there in your turn, you kind of see how high of a pull-up you did. So we got to definitely make sure we work on keeping, and it's kind of the same theme of keeping your shoulders right at water depth, and definitely got to work on that streamline. So we have a couple things that we can look at here. So let's kind of start it over, and we'll take it all one by one. All right. So as we get in here real quick, as we can kind of see the breath, you can see that this is the top of her suit here. Here's her chin, and the water level is right where the top of that suit is. So we got to make sure we get that head down a lot lower in that water so that we're actually able to keep your chin right on the surface and actually able to stay lower in that water. If you're able to stay lower, your butterfly breathing is going to be a lot easier. You're going to stay higher in that water with your hips as well. By coming up like this, your hips start dropping. My guess is when we actually go to the underwater view, you're going to see more what I'm talking about as far as your hips dropping. Now the other thing we got to be careful on right here, we kind of see that those hands, they're a little bit high going up, and then you kind of see those wrists are pointing back, right? We want to make sure those wrists are an extension of our forearms, and so they should be straight in line with your forearm. If your forearm is out to the side, your hands, your fingertips should be out to the side, not floating backwards like that. Now we do a good job of getting our head in the water here, slightly before those hands are entering. That's good, but you can kind of see that here your hands are entered more like this and like this, which means we have got a lot of area out here that just keeps getting wider and wider. What we'd like to see is your hands entering more shoulder width apart, which would be more here and here. So you kind of see how your hands outside of your shoulder width there and just slightly outside of your shoulder width there. The reason why we want them shoulder width apart is you're actually able to grab a better pull through the water there. All right, as we go into our stroke here, we have a good job of kicking, but it's like a pause and a kick. So pause, kick, kick. You almost pause at the top of your stroke. So when your hands are entering, let's rewind. So your hands entered there. Let's go back to my first enter. Again, you can kind of see that your head's still up a little high when your hands are entering, so you got to get that head down just a little bit quicker, right? And if you stay low in the water, that becomes a lot easier. But so your hands are pausing right there, and you just did one kick, and then you're just doing your second kick while your hands are up front. Make sure those kicks are actually up here at the top and then down here at the bottom. So it's kick, kick all the way through. So at the top of your stroke and at the bottom of your stroke, not both up at the top. Okay? Now the other thing we talk all the time about is not breathing our last stroke into the wall and our first stroke off the wall, right? And so as you saw, you did take a breath there at that last stroke, and then you kind of jump on that wall, so you're not able to be really full into it. And then the other thing you can kind of see is look at how high. So here's like the top of the, what is that? I guess the cross of your swimsuit. So your shoulder 6 inches above the water, maybe even 8 inches above the water, and so your head's even higher than that. You want to keep your shoulders right here at water depth so that your head is looking straight at your hands. As you can see here, you're looking at the touch pads here instead of your hand that's on the wall. So we want to make sure we look at that hand that's on the wall, keep your shoulders in that water a little bit better. Kind of see you're still looking there. You're not really looking at your hand. And as your hand comes off, you're going into a streamline that's not very tight. Okay, you kind of let those hands be a little bit weak. Make sure you get a little bit better and a little bit tighter streamline. Good dolphin kicks off the wall. I didn't count to see if we did 6. Let's go back and see how many we did there. So as we push off the wall, 1, 2, 3. So 3 dolphin kicks and then a stop. And that's one of the things we talk all the time about is, first off, we always talk, we want 6 dolphin kicks across the board, right? But you want to keep kicking into your stroke. You don't want to all of a sudden pause and just wait. You want to keep kicking. Now, good job of not breathing per stroke. Okay, so you did that one perfectly. Just don't breathe that last stroke in, okay? So well done there. It makes it a lot easier getting to your stroke, okay? But again, you got to keep your hands moving, so it's not 2 kicks up top. It's constantly keeping your hands moving. Good job, Kathryn.